Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Reus 2 where we have some new stuff to explore today. So let's check out this new era. If we want to unlock this new era, or if we want to get to this new era, we need to have a city that owns at least 2 biotica from 3 different biomes. Okay, that's interesting. It's certainly not the way I usually build things. I'm assuming that you need to actually have patches from 3 biomes in the city. Is like the way it's worded, it is a little bit. I'm wondering if biotica that can exist in multiple biomes have like a sort of like a root, or like maybe they're credited to the biome you unlock them from. So like if you unlocked the dove with a desert charge, is it an animal from the desert even if you then play it in the forest? But it's probably the simpler just you need to have 3 patches of 3 different biomes in your city, which sounds doable. It's gonna be interesting at least. So we unlocked a new spirit here, which is this one, the Ranger, a protector and friend of animals that uses wealth and power to protect its land. All Apex Biotica get bonus gold and mystery, but not the other stats, from each adjacent animal. So it definitely feels then like we want to put her on the edge of the ocean, because the ocean is where most of the things that generate the most mystery spawn. And so like I said, we want to do ocean and wetland this time to try to let us play with the interoperability of the water aquata, the water biotica. And then, I mean, just for the sake of variety, we haven't had an Ice Age taiga yet. So yeah, let's do this. We'll pick the Ice Age version of the Frost Giant, and True Titanic. Let's go. Let's see a new one. It might have behooved me to try to plan a route, like try to figure out what first era biome we want, or first era words thingy, thingies. What first era turning point stuff we want, but whatever. We'll just go in. We'll let it land how it lands. So our Horizon draft has shown us Shipwreck, which can only be placed in the deep, but does generate a lot of mystery. So it has gem, and it generates bonus resources for each other distinct gem on the planet, and also a percentage bonus to mystery for other distinct noble biotica on the planet. And then it unlocks alongside, I mean, not that much other stuff. I guess, like, I was gonna say I'm surprised to see no noble tags here, but I think noble is actually quite rare. But I guess, this is a gem. It's also a critter and a coral. Wait, what kind of bioticum is this? It's actually not super clear just from the icon whether I guess there's no indicator of whether it's a plant or a mineral, or I think it's a mineral. Huh. Yeah, it just struck me that like there's not actually like a little handle on this that tells you, because usually it's so clear from the art. Okay. Victoria Water Lily generates a bunch of mystery from water biotica in this biome. When placed, lock this plus 8 microcharges if adjacent to at least 2 distinct amphibious biotica. And it itself is aquatic. Unlocking bloodroot and river otters that want to be next to fish. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. And finally, the mammoth, which is double titan, double fur, generating bonus food for each legacy bioticum on the planet. That's actually really interesting. And then bonus food also for fur. Yeah, this definitely gives us more of a reason to actually legicize things, and in particular, obviously, particularly when we have the opportunity to place high food stuff. Okay, so we know kind of like what we're building toward. Given that we have a high mystery apex in the wetlands, I think that tells us that we want our ranger to be right on the border of the ocean and the wetlands. So let's set that up. As you might imagine, you don't get to settle in the ocean proper. So we'll be putting her right on the shore. Well, not right on the shore, close to the shore. That's interesting. Is this the same distribution of wetland tiles that we saw last time? I wonder if they're if the water / land distribution is random. Okay, well, we'll do this. So I might have her settle like here to leave like a wetlands water, then a wetlands land, and then the proper ocean. And this might end up not being a very large wetland because we need to include a patch of something else. I guess the patch of something else doesn't have to go here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And then our Ice Age taiga over here. Ice Age tundra, rather. Is that a third? I kind of did abbreviate the wetlands a little bit. Whatever, it's fine. So let's go ahead and tell her to settle here. And we'll start working this all out. Alright, welcome to the Western Keys huts. And I appreciate the push to the ocean right away. That's going to make things a little bit easier. So, sorry, what do you get from Mystery? Mystery is 9 wealth and a 10th of a point of power. Okay. And you have the nature-loving tag by default. Alright, let's generate a little bit of wealth and also some animals. And also I want to put something down over here so that we know that they are going to expand into the ocean. So we have access to the herring, which is not very impressive. The clownfish, which gets pretty good resource output if it is next to a sea anemone. In this case, it would be 29 total wealth, which is pretty good for a single 1-star. Amber wants to be next to 2 bioticum types. Well, and you want to have 2 animals within borders. So we can put a possum on the shore next to where the fish will be. Let me put the fish down first. Just to, again, encourage the encourage growth into the ocean. Possum. Yep, that first border expander does not need very much. Does not need very much assistance. And then, is that going to be enough? We need to get to 3. I think it is not, right? Yeah, because the clownfish is not very valuable by itself. So I think we are going to want to put down the sea anemone, which is a science and mystery producing plant. There we go. That ought to push us over very easily. So there's a concept in the ocean of shallows and deeps. The 2 patches closest to the shore, so that's 4 slots, are shallow, and then it becomes deep water, and then obviously it becomes shallow again at the other end. One of the terraforming options allows you to swap the state of patches that are in the middle of the ocean, but I don't remember exactly which one. Okay, so we got a nomad. Let's get our next nomad down over here, and we're gonna do this. Well, I guess, hold on, let me see what it is first. The villain and the poet. Well, we've had a poet recently. That said, the villain doesn't really get great payout from mystery, and the poet really does. It's not too hard to keep the poet's like balanced stuff going. Yeah, I think the poet fits this environment better. And well, hold on. What are our secondary biomes? Like what might we be placing to be the other side of this that the Western Keys huts can reach into? It could be a rainforest, it could be a forest, it could be a taiga. Hard to say. Hard to say what's going to make sense. I think I am going to take the poet, even though we just had a poet, just because like it's so much easier to work with a poet. And then put him over here, and we'll see how things work out. So fast forward your slow ass walk across the entire planet. I did tell him to put down basically exactly on the other side of the globe. Skullhole. Okay. It's a challenging name for a city. And all you want in the world is prosperity. So we're building toward fur. So I guess it makes sense to, you know, pay attention to our animals. The mink would like to be next to a plant. The ground squirrel. When placed, lock this bioticum. Unlock one random Ice Age cohort bioticum of 1 star, if possible, with permanently boosted stats, doubled up stats. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that. Do we want to encourage growth away from the ocean? I guess not. It's fine to just put it here, I think. It has no particular needs. And then we're going to want to try to keep our biotica typing pretty balanced. So is that going to be enough to push you? Okay, so that does push us up to 4. And then we just need to generate like 10 of anything to finish this project. Slate has the extinct tags. This is something you see in a number of things in the Ice Age, where when the era finishes, the bioticum disappears, but the slot that it's in goes up a level, as though you had. I believe the slate becomes legacied in the slot and everything. So I should be thinking about anything that has food legacy or food extinct. Okay, this fireweed wants to be adjacent to 2 distinct biotica with base gold. This one seems great. What a good plant. So the base gold is going to have to all be in the ocean, but that's fine. We can absolutely do that. Yeah, this was the unlock from the... Oh no, we unlocked... it was the caribou that was the unlock from the squirrel. Oh yeah, it's got the booster listed right on it. I mean, the payout's fine. It's not bad. Okay. So we're going to want to replace whatever's at the eastern edge of Western Keys Hut for at least 1 patch with a new biome. So I guess the 3rd city's just gonna go like here, regardless of what it is. The Pirate Queen loves the high seas and gold. It's a shame that we just devoted our ocean to somebody already. But the Diplomat should be an okay fit. That really does not benefit from mystery very much. But yeah, you're welcome aboard. We're definitely going to want to use some planet expanders, I think. Alright, now the mammoth cares about food and legacy biotica everywhere on the planet, not necessarily in its territory. So that's a thing to keep in mind for everywhere. And you just need to get to 5 prosperity as well. Doesn't seem terribly difficult. Keep in mind, Extinct says when you complete a picked era, so nothing will happen on the transition from this like prehistory into the first era, but when we go from first to second, all of our extinct stuff will disappear. I mean, honestly, I kind of just want to play another fireweed. Fireweed seems real good. But is there any... Do we have anything else that unlocks additional biotica? We don't. We have a mineral booster, so let's go ahead and play a mineral on it. And then the boosted caribou wants to be near a mineral, so I guess we can just throw it down here. That should definitely push us over 5 prosperity. Get us all prepped for whatever era we want. Actually, it looks like the slate alone was going to do it. But this is also good. Yeah, okay. So, we have 15 Eon left. I guess at this moment, maybe we want to just, like, take a look. Are we aiming for any era in particular? We've seen a Monument Age. We haven't done a Neolithic Revolution. Cities will gain extra plants, or extra food from plants. I mean, it's not what we're most set up for, but we could get there. We have a plant. We have at least a plant in each of the other 2 cities. We have seen a Hunter Age before, and a Hunter Age seems okay. We could do another bug era. I don't necessarily think we need to do that. Like, maybe we're aiming for a Neolithic Revolution. The thing is, we want to have lots of animals around our apex biotica. So buffs that affect animals more, obviously, it'd be pretty good. A draft charge is definitely compelling. If we go for the philosopher thing, we can earn a draft charge and some Eon. I mean, that would be pretty cool. A terraform charge and a reroll. Rerolls are also definitely valuable. So, what is our current resource setup? Okay, if we wanted to pass into the next era with science as our highest output, it wouldn't be super hard to do that. Or we just need 1 city to have 3 population and 2 plants, right? Which would be very easy if we just put another plant in this city. Maybe that's exactly what we do. So, a base gold yield. Unfortunately, plants don't have base gold yields very often, so the fireweed here makes me not want to put gold producers down in these slots adjacent to this thing. But if on this side we were to place a mink, and honestly, maybe another fireweed. I know I'm not boosting the thing that we have the project for already, but you know, they want wealth expansion. We'll get there. All right, so now this city has 2 plants. Okay, let's spend the rest of our Eon working on this. So you just need anything that produces gold. That could be... I mean, we have a possum already. I get it's just an amphibious gem. I mean, that's, like, fine. We have the money-making fish already. An amber right here in the water does get us its full value because it does have two different bioticum attached to it there. And I want to play another animal. I guess we could do a draft. So our sorry, one more thing here. Our ocean apex cares about gems and noble stuff all over the planet. So we don't particularly have to be. I am thinking about maybe taking an animal or taking a draft for the ocean, and hoping to get more compelling animals. Let's start there. Okay, well. White-plumed anemones do generate money for this leader in particular because of the mystery conversion. Also, pearls are very good. Pearls a lot of money. And it does unlock a gem. It does unlock some good animals. You know what? Yeah, let's take the pearl. So the pearl wants to be adjacent to the coast. We might want to refigure things a little bit here. Like, what if we have you come over? We want to keep the fish adjacent to the coast because the fish are feeding the possum. We can have this be a sea anemone instead. We're a little biodiversity short at the moment. That is also a problem. The sea crate wants to be adjacent to at least one critter, which the possum is. So is the clownfish, though. Like it's actually very easy to be adjacent to a critter. Yeah, this is fine. We're gonna just place the sea anemone over here with the intention of replacing this eventually. We're gonna have to drive up biodiversity here, but we'll do that in a minute. And in the meantime, time has come for a new era. Let's maybe lean into this Neolithic revolution. So in order to 3-star this, we're going to have to get 3 cities having 6 population each and also 5 unique plants on the planet. And then drive the total prosperity up to 80. And up to 3 existing cities will build extra farms getting food from plants. So as opposed to a monument age, which I think is fine. The Emperor Butterfly will play well with our Apex bonus, so that's kind of cool. I don't know if these are just like random or like randomly dealt out, the ones you unlock as you level up your world, or what. But yeah, let's do Neolithic Revolution. So, giants can create their secondary biome. We're not going to be in a big hurry to do it, though. So we get 3 cities, each of them having a farm that'll generate 100 extra food if we can get 4 plants within borders. Border expanders had it out, which is great. You're going to want another animal within borders. I think I'm going to go ahead and put down the sea crate here, because the pearls have the critter tag, so they'll empower that. And now that we have the biodiversity, let's go ahead and make that happen. And this will probably be enough to finish the ranger village even before we know what this is. So let's see here. Nature Temple's quite easy to hit on this one. We're also most of the way toward Trapper and already finished with Hunter. And actually, Hunter... So we're going to want to build more plants within the borders of this place to push the value of the food up. So I do kind of like taking Hunter as a thing that we don't have to spend any extra effort on. It's already finished and we can just spend it on plants. Plus we do need raw food. All of our stuff has to get to 6 population, right? How's your population doing? It's low. It's bad. Obviously the farm will help as well. Okay. To pop around and finish some other villages. Canoe maker is +50/+50 for a tree, a fish, and an element. It's pretty easy to hit the herbalist, but also a huge chunk of science really isn't what we're looking for right now. Yeah, canoe maker might be a good fit, actually. It's a little bit less total payout than the scribe, but we are looking for food. So we need a tree. We need a tree. Fish and element should be like very easy to put together. Speaking of putting together an element, we do need to play another... Okay, yeah, we have an element already. But we do need to play a mineral... Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, the element was over here. I played slate over there. Well, then I suppose putting down a quartz on this gold booster probably makes sense. The fireweed would like gold generating stuff next to it. And my guess is that will probably push us over 15 prosperity by itself with the 50% boost. Yeah, it'll be like 30 points. So yeah, that'll finish Poet Village, I think. Pretty good, extra biodiversity and whatnot. Okay, so you're gonna be done. Now we just need... The neutral village just cares about everybody's prosperity being high. That's very kind of them. This guy's already over the 6 population that we need to focus on. So let's see if we can get Skullfort up there as well. Fruit picker is interesting and on theme if we have fruit. Do I actually have fruit plants that I can play? The answer is no. But a thing that we could do is put down a forest in the middle here. A forest for the Western Keys huts to expand into, and then we can get the Western Keys huts 3 biomes worth of creatures and also pick up the easy 2-place forest fruits for Skullfort. I think I like that. The Victoria Water Lily really wants there to be quite a lot of water in the wetlands, and it is a shame that we'd be losing this. Yeah, we'd be real low on total water. We're gonna have to buy an extender way sooner than we usually do, I think. I don't really think that's arguable on this one. Okay, well, we'll do it when we gotta do it. So who was it that got the forest for their second? You. Yeah, I think let's do this. Does the default rainforest plant have fruit? Papaya trees. Yes, it does. maybe we are thinking rainforest then. Would rainforest be a better fit? I mean, right now it certainly, it certainly encourages you to build plants. Maybe we do a rainforest. It's a little different. So we'll put that right there. We'll try to encourage Western Keys huts to extend this way a little bit. And it takes 4 plants to trigger the maximum value on the farm anyway, right? Yeah, they don't need to be distinct. And these don't need to be distinct. So we end up playing a big fruit orchard. Gosh, I hope you'll expand into it. So the papaya trees are really bad if we're not meeting the biodiversity. And we're not going to be meeting the biodiversity requirements, so it's rough. But we need fruit trees. Do I want to spend a draft? I'm going to go ahead and put it on a Ramon tree on this side. We need more plants. We need more different plants in general. And the Ramon tree generating 2 points of biodiversity will actually turn on the increased food for the papaya tree. So now the question is, do we devote a draft? With 4 active biomes, our drafts are going to be stretched in a little bit tighter of a way. And that does make me a little nervous. But I'm going to go ahead and take a rainforest draft. Show me something compelling. Okay, well, a banana is certainly very good. Gives us a 2nd fruit tree. The jungle fowl and the taro don't do very much for us. Flint is a military element. Yeah, I think let's take the banana. Now, one thing I don't know is whether... Is this +3 biodiversity? Is this spare biodiversity? When I place the banana, am I going to nuke the bonus of my papaya trees? I am not sure. I think I'm going to do it anyway. You want to be next to a mineral, which I don't know if that's going to happen. We should definitely put the banana down. Yeah, and I need this city to expand out this way, so... We might find ourselves a little pressed here, honestly. This might not be great. So did that break this? It did. Okay. We need to have 3 spare biodiversity, not 3 total biodiversity. Well, that being the case, then I guess we may as well play a taro here. Nope, taro's not a fruit. Not a fruit tree. Gotta stick to fruit trees. We are definitely going to have to buy some Eon if we want to complete everything, which I'm a little leery of. You're hesitant. You almost want to reach out. All right, let me put a taro down here, I think, just for the biodiversity. Everybody's got their level 2 city request finished, which is great. And this, I think, should encourage an expansion. Okay, we need to get to 1+ within borders. That's a shame because we're like very much out of. We're very much out of resources here. That's a plant. Right, we're at 1 plant right now. So yeah, putting down a plant here will make the city want to expand. It'll expand out. It'll finish its farm all at once. Pretty good. Pretty good, I think. Okay, so the Bloodroot wants to be adjacent to at least 1 water bioticum. This would do that. This position we have here, and it gets us some science, which is not the thing we need. No, we do need a food plant. So wild rice. It makes sense for it to just be wild rice. Well, no, sorry. We're gonna super complete our food concern off of the expansion. Right, the farm is going to gain us 100 points of food. So this does not need to be a food plant. And it's better for our overall prosperity, in fact, if it is a science plant. Okay, now we just got to get to 80 total. And like I said, we are 80 total prosperity. We're out of Eon, but I think we're going to be leaning back in here with some era shopping. Okay, so that's going to take me to 74. Pretty good. Pretty good. How's your farm? You need 2 more plants, and also we have an element, but no tree and no fish. Well, let's do a tundra draft to see if we can find a tree. I guess I should have started with this to make sure we could get one. We are shown one, though. And it's got a fur tag. This has got 2 fur tags. Oh man, there's 3 fur tags between all these. But we do need a tree, and I'm not super excited to spend a reroll at this point. In fact, I'm not allowed to. Oh, the first draft always says right. Okay. Yeah, we'll take the Steppe Bison. Steppe Bison plays well with there being a bunch of plants. So I need to set down a tree, and we need to put down a fish. So I'm going to need to buy Eon. At least this much Eon. Alright, this wants to be next to at least 1 extinct bioticum, and in this position it would be. We could also do an overwrite. Like, if we have 1 fireweed, we could drop the other fireweed. This will get me tree. Then we have to place a fish. What's the fish? The fish is probably just a herring, so we just don't have a herring yet. It's not a very exciting one, but that I think is fine. I'll put it here. So yeah, we're not going to activate this fireweed's beauty bonus anyway, so maybe it is best to just replace it with the tree. And that's a cheaper placement as well, right? Because it's only one Eon to do an overwrite. Okay, we get some friendships going on, some cultural exchanges being made, which is great. It's free prosperity. How good was that cultural exchange? Okay, sets of right. We know that. We know how the poet's cultural exchange thing works. Okay, so you... I guess over here it's not going to be adjacent to an extinct because we got the evolve. Well, whatever. One problem at a time. All right, and then like I said, the fish is live, so the canoe thing is live then. We are 2 plants away from getting full value here, but we are at least getting value. If we can't lock in all of that, I think it's fine. We'll be fine. So over here, I just want to put down one more fruit. And it's a papaya tree. And then we need to get this city to expand one more time. And I may have to buy a forcer for that. But this city now has 2 biotica from 3 different biomes, so we will be able to unlock the second era that we're looking for. I don't know that placing one thing down within the borders is going to be enough. So as much as I am leery to like spend extra resources, I am going to go ahead and buy the forced border booster. Let's just make that happen. Okay. So that gets us a huge amount of food payout, massive boost in the prosperity value of this town. It's going to get us our first emblem. So anything with the domesticable tag is now very good in her city. And then we have 3 Eon left. And if we were to place 2 more plants within your borders while maintaining tree fish element, then we can push you over. So if I replace something, if I just do a replacement and then drop 1 more plant, we can do this. So I can't replace you, and I can't replace you. I could replace the mink. In fact, I can kind of only replace the mink. And it means that's gonna fuck up the fireweed, unfortunately. Because we don't have any plants that have base gold yields. Because plants don't have base gold yields. But I can't replace you because you're locked. No, I can. Oh, it's locked, like you can't play another one of these. Okay, so I could replace you. That's interesting. You already unlocked your friend. So we could just put down... The dandelion wants to be near other undergrowth, which obviously the alder is not. The carrot is good food from being adjacent to a plant. So replace you with a carrot, and then just put any plant here, and we're here or here, and we're good to go. We will have maxed out all of the buildings for this era. It was costly to do so, but we were going to buy that Eon eventually anyway. Just going to use it for other things. I hope that this was not like a really foolish way to approach this. All right. So if we're going to put it in the water, kelp, or over here it could be... Are you undergrowth? You are, although you're going extinct, so this will no longer be adjacent to undergrowth afterward. I think I actually am just going to place a kelp. It's a nice, easy food boost. Okay, and that will, in fact, top out our slightly misspelled farm. And we are ready to go, except for these 3 microcharges. And it's a shame that we weren't trying to, like... The problems we were having weren't problems with values that could be fixed by applying micros. It was just like raw things, just things of need. So we have 25 food on animals, 25 science on plants, 25 science on minerals. Well, it does feel like applying micros to plants, to plants that are about to go extinct is kind of nice because, again, they legacy themselves in the slot, so we're guaranteeing that income forever. We're not guaranteeing that the micro is there, but we don't have, this game we don't have a lot of stuff that counts micros. It's just like the raw value of the micro is the thing that's useful, I think. So yeah, 25 science for you because you're also going to go extinct, and lock all that stuff down, and then I don't know, the diplomat just wants, this guy's got a doubler on his outputs, so add some more bonus. We've got inventions going off all over the place. That's all fantastic. Okay, it was a little messy. It was a little costly, but in the end, I think that's a pretty okay first era. We are coming out of era 1 at 95, which feels strong. The diplomat has invented scrumptious dessert. Wow. Okay, 4 points. That's rad. That's very, very good. Okay, so we're going to continue on into our new era here, and then probably call it there. This was a little bit of a slow play day for me. You know, it happens. Hosting the world's first farmers market. I hope y'all like bananas, because that's the only thing anyone knows how to grow. We have a lot of plants, but not a lot of plants that produce, like, food. Weirdly, a lot of our food is coming from the farm itself and also, like, other sources rather than the plants. I mean, it's good. Overall, it's good. So, our new era. A great nation, rich in diverse landscape, is ready to become the guardian of their vast lands. The ranger learns from the different biomes of the world and gains food from each biome. We immediately gain 2 additional draft charges. That's going to help so much. And then the 3-star reward here has some Eon on it. It has some Terraform charge. We're getting the Octopus Stinkhorn. That's fascinating. In order to finish this, we're going to have to get to the ranger having 30 population, 3 biomes with at least 8 biodiversity in each. Usually when they're goals, they're talking about total, not unspent. And it actually doesn't matter what what the others are doing. So, yeah, okay, that's an interesting thing to focus on. What exactly is the mechanical function of the Pathfinders Club? Okay, 50 food for each biome that has at least... Yeah, we rolled through that first star pretty fast. 50 food for each biome that has at least 5 biodiversity, and you can see here that is definitely taken as a goal because we only have 1 biome that has 5 unspent. But our ocean and our wetlands... No, the wetlands is actually bad. It's here that's... Somehow, the tiny rainforest is the one that has all the biodiversity. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I think that's what we're going to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. It's a little bit of a weird one, but I like it when the mechanics force me to change up my playstyle and to have to make weird and different decisions. So come back next time to see if I'm still saying that at the end of this era, and we'll see you then.